Welcome back to Heal Her Rise from Trauma and Grief. I'm Ashley Morales, and I'm honored to hold space for you today because you have already survived 100% of your worst days. Some of those worst days may include traumatic experiences. If you've ever felt like your trauma defines you, if you've been stuck in survival mode, if grief feels like your permanent home, this episode is for you. Let's jump into it. Hello. I am Ashley Morales, and I am a certified grief counselor. I do start off by jumping into a reminder. I want to remind you that you are not what happened to you. Your trauma may be a chapter in your life, but it does not have to be the whole book. Let that sink in. Your trauma is not your identity. And for years, I believed my pain was my identity. I thought I was forever bound to experiences that shattered me. Maybe you felt the same way, but I want you to hear this. Healing is possible. Healing isn't about forgetting what happened. It's about reclaiming your future. It's about stepping out of the shadows and into the light of who you were always meant to be. Let's sit with that for a moment. How does that feel? What emotions are coming up for you as you hear those words? If there's resistance, that's okay. If there's hope, that's wonderful. Healing isn't linear. It's a journey, and every feeling along the way is valid. And the beautiful thing about your story is that you get to be the author. So let's talk about rewriting your narrative. You are allowed to heal. You are allowed to thrive. You are allowed to rewrite the narrative in a way that serves you. It starts with small shifts. Let's talk about some of those that you may want to incorporate into your story. The first one, the way you speak to yourself. This matters. Instead of harsh, critical words, try speaking to yourself with the same compassion you'd offer a dear friend. When you feel overwhelmed, say, I am allowed to feel this, and I am learning how to navigate it. When self-doubt creeps in, remind yourself, I am growing and every step forward counts. Speak to yourself in a way that acknowledges your struggles, but also affirms your resilience and potential. Your words shape your reality, so choose ones that uplift and empower you. The way you honor your emotions matters. This is the second shift. This is a small shift that you can begin to implement. Honoring your emotions means allowing yourself to feel without judgment. It's recognizing that every emotion, whether joy, sadness, anger, or fear, carries wisdom. It's giving yourself permission to sit with your feelings instead of pushing them away or numbing them. Honoring your emotions can look like taking a deep breath when frustration rises instead of silencing it. It can mean journaling through grief rather than suppressing it. It's about asking yourself, what is this emotion teaching me? What do I need in this moment? When you honor your emotions, you create space for healing rather than resistance, because every feeling deserves acknowledgement. And in that acknowledgement, you reclaim your power. The last small shift in your narrative, I want to propose that you add into maybe a working hypothesis is look at the way you show up for your healing journey. This matters. Showing up for yourself means making a conscious choice every day to prioritize your healing, even when it's hard. It means extending grace to yourself, setting boundaries, and taking intentional steps toward emotional wholeness, which you hear me talk about a lot because it is my favorite thing to help you achieve. Okay, so here are 3 ways showing up for yourself may take the form of creating boundaries, even with loved ones, prioritizing rest and self-care, and choosing yourself daily. So let's talk more about those. So creating boundaries, even with loved ones. Healing sometimes requires distancing yourself from people who trigger old wounds, even if they are family. This could mean limiting conversations that drain your energy or setting firm boundaries with those who haven't taken accountability or responsibility to any pain caused. Doing all of this without guilt. This may be extremely difficult. I want to hold space for you, and I want you to hear me when I say you deserve love. However, love without accountability is not love, it is control. Now let's look at prioritizing rest and self-care. Recognize that healing is not just about doing the work. It's also about resting, nourishing your body, allowing yourself space to recharge, and giving your brain time for these new neural pathways to take root. This could look like setting aside quiet time to breathe, journal, or simply be. You also can show up for yourself by choosing yourself daily, whether it's seeking therapy, joining a support group, or practicing daily reflection. Showing up for yourself means actively participating in your healing. It's about saying, I deserve this healing, and taking action toward it. And really, each step, no matter how small, is a step toward emotional wholeness. I want to take a moment to share a powerful exercise with you. If you have a journal, grab it. If not, just close your eyes and imagine. Think of the story you've been telling yourself about your past. Maybe it's, I'm broken. I'll never be enough. I'll always struggle. I'm alone. Now, I want you to rewrite that story in a way that empowers you. Instead of I'm broken, what if it's I'm healing? Instead of I'll always struggle, what if it was I am growing through this? Words are powerful. The stories we tell ourselves shape our reality. So take a deep breath, hold on to that new story. If you've yet to choose a new story, pause right here and find your story. Rewrite it now. Let it settle into your heart space. Every time you breathe, remember that story. And when that old story creeps up again, you can take a deep breath and know that you actually have the true story, your story. Now I want to move into healing the nervous system. One of the biggest challenges trauma survivors and those dealing with grief face is living in a constant state of fight or flight. Our nervous system gets stuck in survival mode, making it hard to trust, relax, or feel safe. But here's the good news. Your nervous system can heal. One practice that has changed my life is somatic healing using the breath, learning to regulate my body and bring myself out of a triggered state. So let's try a simple exercise together right now. Okay, I want you to sit comfortably, feet on the ground, spine nice and tall, your hands resting on your lap. Take a slow, deep breath in your nose. Hold for a moment and release through your mouth. Again, deep breath in, hold, and exhale. Now, gently place one hand over your heart, one on your belly. Continue with your deep breathing and feel your breath moving through you. Remind yourself, I am safe. I am healing. I am here. Continue to breathe. One energetic phrase I've learned recently is to talk to your body. Your body is listening always, and you can say to your body as you take a deep breath, body, this is a safe place to be, and I choose this. Take in one more deep breath, hold, and exhale. This practice resets your nervous system, bringing you back to the present moment. And the more you do it, the more you remind your body that safety and peace are possible. Speaking of safety and peace being possible, dare I say, you are beginning to step into a new version of you. That's what we're going to talk about next. So if you're tired of carrying the weight of your past, I invite you to step into something new, something lighter, freer, and filled with the possibility of joy. Imagine waking up one day and realizing you no longer feel imprisoned by your past. Imagine looking into the mirror and seeing a woman who is whole, powerful, and radiant. For my men listeners, wake up feeling whole, powerful, illuminated. It's not just a dream. It's possible, and it begins with a choice. One of the ways I began stepping into this version of myself was by practicing intentional self-reflection. I found it very effective to ask myself meaningful questions and challenge the old beliefs that no longer served me. Let's try this together. Again, grab that journal. Here are some meaningful questions to guide your self-reflection. The first one, what is one belief I have about myself that no longer serves me? If I could rewrite the story of my past, what empowering truth would I include? This one's very important because as we relive our traumas and the events that happened in our past that have sent us on a healing journey, a grieving journey, sometimes we forget that there are things that we did, whether we grew, we removed ourselves, we took a stand, we took a step that was truly empowering, and we don't include that in our story. So remember, this is a truth. So if I could rewrite the story of my past, what empowering truth would I include? What do I need to release in order to step into the version of myself that feels free and whole? How can I show up for myself in ways that honor my healing? And the last one, what is one thing I can do today that aligns with the life I truly want to live? Now, sit with these questions. Be honest with yourself. Let your answers guide you toward transformation. Many people believe the best way to move toward this transformation is by using affirmations. I'm going to say something that may be controversial. Affirmations do not work. So I learned this a long time ago. Instead of repeating affirmations, I answered these questions. Our bodies are much more intuitive than we realize. We cannot speak words that make logical sense and expect our body to accept something that we are not an energetic match for yet. However, answer the questions I mentioned. Rewind if you need to, write them down, sit with your journal, and really answer them honestly for yourself. And doing this, we can see the person we are wanting to become. They will emerge, not by force, by repetitive affirmations, but because they have been there inside you all along, just waiting for you to see the true you and shine some light on that version of yourself. If this message speaks to you, I invite you to connect with me. Let's walk this healing journey together. You don't have to do it alone. Take a moment to fill out the questions in the link below in the show notes and pick a time that we can talk more about your goals of emotional wholeness. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to Heal Her, Rise from Trauma and Grief. Share this episode with someone who needs to hear it, because healing is a ripple effect. When you heal, you inspire others to do the same. Drop your comments. I love reading them. Tell me what your favorite exercise was from this episode. As we close, I want you to take one final deep breath. Inhale hope. Exhale the weight of the past. You are stepping into a new chapter, and I am so proud of you. Well, proud is maternal. I'm going to say I'm happy for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing healing. And most of all, thank you for rewriting your story. Until next time, take care of your heart and remember, your past is a chapter, not the whole book. You are worthy of joy, love, and peace.